Hi everyone, Mr. Cook It here again, aka Zach Breeding, and today we're going to do the top 5 list of things to look out for in the home regarding food safety. Most foodborne illnesses happen within the home, not in restaurants. Restaurants have a whole list of procedures and guidelines that they use to make sure that people don't get sick, because otherwise they'll be shut down. Well, your home doesn't get shut down when somebody gets sick, and who's the first person to blame a restaurant? So we're going to look for the top 5 things that get people sick. Number 5, wash your hands. Wash between the fingers, under the nails, on top of the nails. Wash your thumbs, wash all the way up to about here, about 6 inches above your wrist. Why? Because all that can touch food possibly. When you're tossing a salad, when you're handling raw meats, raw vegetables, the whole thing. Wash your hands before you touch raw meat, after you touch raw meat, and anytime that you're touching something that could possibly even touch raw meat. Number 4, in your fridge, raw things that are like meats and things should be towards the bottom of the fridge. Not in these drawers where you store like your fruits and vegetables and things, but you always put meats and stuff in a bowl or on a towel in the bottom of your fridge. Not up top, because things can drip. Things can drip all over your fresh fruits and vegetables and really get you sick if you eat them raw. Cleaning your countertops. Your countertops can harbor bacteria even though you're not cutting it, or even though it might not necessarily touch it. There are pieces of juice and things that fly around when you're breaking down meat that could get on your countertops and fester. So make sure you always wipe it down with something antibacterial. Your sink, same thing. People rinse meat. People rinse raw things all the time that harbor bacteria in their sink, and they don't clean the sink. This can spread to pasta, to vegetables, all over dishes. Make sure you always clean your sink the same way you would clean your countertop. Lastly, make sure you always clean your cutting boards thoroughly. Inside the rivets that happen with your knife, oftentimes the cutting boards that are made of silicone or plastic or wood create rivets that harbor and fester bacteria that can really get you sick. So after a period of time, when there's too many cuts in the cutting board, ditch it, throw it out. You don't need it, it's not worth getting sick. Your thermometer. A cooking thermometer is easy and cheap and a really good way to make sure your meat is cooked thoroughly, or any reheated dish. Dishes that come out of the refrigerator and get reheated are definitely prone to having foodborne illness. So make sure you use your thermometer to test that. At least 145 degrees. Ground meats should be 155 degrees. Anything poultry related should be at least 165 degrees. Make sure you pull your meat out after you've tested it and let it rest for about 5 or 10 minutes to make sure all the juices stay in. But that'll also increase the temperature a little bit more just to prevent you getting sick from any contamination from any meat at all. And the number 1 thing to look out for in the home regarding foodborne illness is leftovers. All over the recipe section of www.thesage.org, I talk about turnout and storage. The storage component is all about how long something can stay in the refrigerator. Pasta is one big demon to look out for. You might think that it lasts a while because it doesn't smell, but it actually is a perfect breeding environment for all kinds of dangerous bacteria. Most things should not last in the refrigerator for more than 3 days. That is the magic number. Anything with high acid like tomato sauce or things that are high in lemon juice or other citrus fruits can last up to 5 days. Homemade dressings can probably last up to a week. Freezing is a whole other bag of beans. It can last between 3 and 6 months. Other than that, it can really get frostbitten, your meat can start to deteriorate, and bacteria still grows in the freezer. Just because it's frozen doesn't mean bacteria has stopped. It just means that it's slowed down enough that it can last a very much longer period of time than in the refrigerator. But if you're going to pull something from the freezer, make sure that when you put it in the refrigerator, that is it. Do not put it back in the freezer, because the bacteria has grown exponentially in the refrigerator, and then you're going to slow it down again in the freezer, and then bring it up again in the refrigerator. So do not ever do that. If it's coming out of the freezer, do not put it back in. It gets one time only. That's it. You can always check www.thesage.org for more tips, to ask a question, whatever you need. I hope this information helps. Peace out.